Morning, K1 community. Jeff Wiggum riding around, going to paint a house. Anyway, on the way to the hardware store to get some paint. But whatever you guys are doing this morning, I'm sure it's probably more important. Maybe, who knows? All right, just wanted to say something this morning, just in the morning chat, just in case you're not going to hear anybody talk about Jesus probably for the rest of the day, which could happen to some of you guys. So I'm talking about Jesus, and Jesus is good. Remember, we're walking around in a world that it's hard to really grab hold of the fact that the problem being separated from God is, and that it's just like we're not supposed to talk about it, we're not supposed to worry about it. You know, the best good that we can do for people around us is just not burden them with it, but we're going to be kind, and in some silent way they're going to know about Jesus. All right, so that's a plan, that's part of it. It's good, nice, be nice to people, say God bless you or something like that. But how do we go a little further? Because these disciples called out when getting along with the world is not necessarily what we're supposed to do. So, but we wrestle with that because we don't really know what that looks like. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about two parts of that today. So the first one is I'm talking about that you're built for a purpose. And if you doubt that, or like, well, I think it's just a good Christian saying, if this is what you're thinking, that it's a good Christian saying that God made me for a purpose and the rest of it, but, obviously my purpose includes, all the secular things that I do. Well, let me affirm that God did make you for a purpose, and we have a prophet, Jeremiah. Now, we know God's no respecter of purposes, but in Jeremiah chapter 1, right, he says that God tells Jeremiah that, look, I knew you, and you were appointed to be this prophet before, while you're in your mother's womb, right? So God knew way back before, right, all that Jeremiah was built for a purpose. And I look around the world, and I'm passing a dump truck, like a dump truck, trailer dump truck. Got another dump truck, and then I got like that Ford, and there's a little van in front of that. Everything in our world is pretty much built for a purpose, right? This Ford Taurus I'm riding by right now, which is doing great. Got the windows up, must have the AC going on. There it is. That's probably doing a great job for those people, but it ain't hauling dirt because they don't need it to. They need to haul them to the grocery store. This guy right here, good night. He's got a whole load of busted up asphalt in there, right? Nothing's going to accomplish that. That little van I saw, everything's different because it's built for a purpose. Now, we all know that. It's so obvious, but somehow we think we humans are the exception. We're not the exception. This is something we wrestle with our entire life. We're sitting there, that thing that we love or we're interested in or we don't know what it is, and yet we sort of just go along, and for some reason we make different decisions, and we just hope and trust and believe, rightly so, that it's the Lord that's leading us. So number one is you're built for a purpose. Guess what? The validity of that purpose is not whether it actually drops out golden eggs, right? It's not, money does not get to tell you, to confirm, to validate what it is. Because that's a whole separate thing. So, but what is your purpose? Now, it doesn't have to be your vocation. Your avocation doesn't have to be your vocation. You can still go down to the mill and crank it out, or you can still go be a superstar surgeon and make $1 billion, or be a stock trader, I guess, or do whatever else. That's your business. But it doesn't necessarily mean your purpose, but getting as close to doing our purpose as we can is almost like a part of seeking God, because that's what we are, K1 community, right? We're seeking the kingdom of heaven. And guess what? The only people that find are the ones that seek, right? So we're seeking, we're knocking on that door. All right. That's my big thought for the day, just to get things kicked off. And y'all thinking about Jesus, and I'm telling you that Jeremiah is that's a big passage, but that is the word. What I'm telling you is the word. And you're like, well, you didn't quote the Bible or King James or the Greek. Well, I know I didn't. But you know, I notice when we go through, as we're going through Acts, what we're gonna see is that Peter, like especially around, like when he's in jail and he's delivered from two jailers on either side, the narrative in one chapter says, you know, oh, what was it particularly? It uses some language, some word, like God delivered me. And then in the other one, it says something slightly different. Same idea, but it's a little bit different. So be encouraged that when you're thinking of verses and what God says, and you're thinking about verses, I'm a big Bible guy, so I think saying the actual verses is sort of a big deal. But it still counts to talk about the idea. So when you're going through the day-to-day, when I'm going through the day-to-day, you know, I'm going to want to be thinking about my purpose and my calling, because I do have one. And I'm not just a victim of circumstances, or I'm not just a boat on the tide tossed by the wind and the waves.